men to cheat. You picked John Kramer?
The cancer is still spreading. I'm afraid there's nothing else we can do. There is one person who might be able to help.
Our program is a two-pronged treatment outside Mexico City. The results have been stunning.
She saved my life.
You're in very good hands with us.
After that, what happens then?
Your whole life happens then. John Kramer.
According to these scans, the tumor was never removed.
How much time do I have?
Months, at best.
I still have a lot of work that needs to be done. Hello, everyone. It's time to play a game. You all pretended to cure me, but what I have planned for each of you is very real.
Peace came upon me. No light, no sound.
The only thing I have not provided is your anesthetic. But trust me, you will want to remain alert. Out of all the men to cheat, you picked John Kramer? Please, don't hesitate. Place a big enough piece of your cerebral tissue into the glass enzyme tank. This will save your life.
So sleep, silent
This is not retribution. It's a reawakening. Live or die, the choice is yours. How much time do I have?
Months, at best.
I still have a lot of work that needs to be done.
It was our desire to make a film that feels more like the early Saw movies.
This, in our mind, is really Saw 2. This movie happens weeks after the end of Saw 1.
I help people overcome inner obstacles.
It needed to look like the early Saw movie.
They were shot on 35. They were scuzzy and gritty. There's arsenical greens and ochre yellows.
We're working with a cinematographer here who has just done a fabulous job.
One of the great challenges of this project was really putting together an excellent trap team. And I feel like we have this amazing team. And I think that the fans are going to be happy. No! All the people that really love Saw.
I want to play a game. My job is to bring humanity to John Kramer. The traps I leave to the people who are disturbed enough to come up with some of these things.
And we go back to what I think the audience most enjoys about John Kramer's character.
I wage war. I wage war against mediocrity.
What struck me was the relationship between John and Amanda. I think that's some of the best passages or scenes.
Everyone deserves a chance. You should know that more than anyone.
It's super fun to be able to come all the way back to the beginning.
We really did this movie for the fans.
The story's compelling, and the Saw fans, next level.
We really tried to pay them back for the loyalty and the fans that have been there since Saw 1. And that's why there's the Easter eggs, there's throwbacks to other. We just really tried to say, you've asked for this movie, we're making this for you.
Traps. John doesn't view them that way. He views them as test situations. And I know it's easy and convenient because they are as terrifying as they are, to think of them as traps. He doesn't. Everyone has an opportunity to win the game and to succeed. John's a magician in a certain way. Sometimes what you see is not what you get with him. So let's assume, though, that what you saw in Saw 3 was actually happening. Then we've had to create moments at different points in time. This one, I would say, happens somewhere between Saw 1, Saw 2, somewhere in that zone. Amanda is John's apprentice, and like any apprentice, good apprentice, the apprentice wants to learn the trade of a skilled craftsman from the ground up. And that's what Amanda Young does. John, she successfully won her game back at the beginning of Saw. And I think what John likes about her is that he's been able to corral her and pull her in and get her to use her amazing strength and energy in a more focused way and in a less self-destructive way. Shawnee Smith developed the character at the beginning of Saw 1, and she is very important in John's life. When they cast her in the role that she's cast in, I took one look at her and I was like, oh my God, she is perfect. And she has been. You promised dying people. Dying people! That you could save their lives.
Experience. Has there ever been a moment as a storyteller, as production team, where you're looking at a moment, you're looking at a trap, you're looking at sort of the pain that is being inflicted, and you just go, I don't know if we can do this. I don't know if we can put the audience members through this.
Kind of. The third trap, I think, really pushes it that way. That's the, that one.
Yeah.
That's really intense.
I have a really visceral reaction watching it, just thinking, how did we even do this? You know what I mean? Because there were so many different elements that had to come together. The prosthetics team and the actress herself, and then all the mechanics that Anthony built. And to me, it's a work of really cool, dark art.
I think, like the brain surgery trap, there was a lot of work put into that because we have to get those pieces out of there. And I felt like there was so much tension in that scene. I really appreciated it. I think what they, in script form, it's outlined what we're going to do. And then, Kevin digests that. Then he will go through it and say, hey, we're having issues because this person's not going to make it in 3 minutes, or this doesn't visually match up. So we have a lot of conversations, and for us, it's really important that visually you really can see what's happening here, and it makes sense. Because for us, we had to integrate the traps into the factory. We had to have that component of the medical story, right? And then we're in Mexico, so we brought in a little bit of Mexican flavor in there. So there's parts, in the script that are not really detailed, so that we bring in all the detail. And then on top of that, we have to do all of the testing because we need to make sure it's all going to work on the day of the shoot. We also need to make sure that the actors are safe. And on top of that, just remember, we're dealing with prosthetics, mechanical effects, and stunts, plus the actors, and makeup. It's a lot of work.
I had so many goosebump moments on this movie. From the very beginning, the moment that I got the script, because I remember when I read the script and I told Kevin this, I don't know if I told him this in my interview or after I got hired, but I was like, to me, this feels like the best script of the franchise, and I thought we had the chance to make the best movie of the franchise, because no other part of the franchise has gotten to completely invest the audience in Jigsaw and Tobin Bell and John Kramer, and all of us want more of him and wanted to see more of him and know more about him as a character. So from the very beginning, I thought we have a chance to do something really special and really great.
As an audience, you are also confronted with, why do I love to watch this? Why do I like to see people suffer? Why is torture some kind of aesthetic thing? How can it, is blood beautiful? I don't know. So we're confronted with this darkness that's inside all of us. And I think that's some of the coolest thing about this movie, actually. It makes it different to the other movies as well.